Okay, everyone, I'm going to be walking through your editing checklist so that you know how to make sure that your paper is formatted correctly, that you have everything that you need while I walk around and help people with their papers. So the first thing you need to do is add a proper MLA heading in the top left-hand corner of your paper, which means on your paper, which this is a draft from last year. This is not, I just found this in my Google Drive, so don't take this as like a good example, but just for formatting's sake, you want to put your name, so name McName, and then you put my name, Ms. Olivero, MS period Olivero. Then you put the class, so English 9A. You can put your period if you want, P2, P5, P whatever. And then you put the day. And remember, for MLA dates, you have to put the day, the month, and the year. So we'll go ahead and put the due date on this, which is the 19th. So we go 19 October 2017. Okay? That's how you do a proper MLA heading. It should be on the left-hand side of your page, and it's only on the first page. It's not in a header. It's just going to show up on that first page. Okay? That's step one. Next is to add the header. That's the thing that shows up on every page. So if you haven't added your heading, pause the video first and then come back. But the next step would be add the header with the last name and page number. So I'll show you how to do it on Google Drive. It's similar on Word, but you go to, I can show you on Word too, I guess. On Google Drive, you go Insert, and then you go page number. Okay, if you insert a header, it's not going to do anything. You have to put in the page number first. So insert page number, pick the one with the one on the first page at the top right hand corner. Move this over a little bit. And then your one will pop up. On the second page it'll say 2. You put your cursor in front of it and type your last name. So, McName. Okay, and then you want to change that to Times New Roman, because usually it'll default to something else, okay? So that's how you do it, and then you click out, and then if you look on your next page, it'll say McName 2. It'll show up in a little square sometimes, that's fine. McName 3, etc. Okay? On Word, it's fairly similar. If you're using Word, you go, let's see, insert again, page number again, top of page, and then pick the one all the way to the right, and then do the same thing, just write your name. And then you close header footer, and then you should be good to go, and it'll do the same thing. Okay? So that is how you set up your header and your heading. Okay? Next, you can do all these 3 things at once. You have to double space the whole paragraph, well, the whole essay in this case. Oops. Double space your entire essay, including the heading. And then you want to make sure the font is Times New Roman in size 12, because sometimes if you're copy pasting from other websites, notice this person probably copy pasted this quote from Brainy Quote. It's a different font than the whole rest of this person's paper. So you want to make sure that it's all the same font. This is Arial 10.5. It's not correct. So highlight the whole paper. Usually you can go edit, select all, or you just drag your cursor over the entire paper so the whole paper's highlighted. And then on the little button that has arrows going up and down, you change the spacing to double. You change the font to Times New Roman, and you change the size to 12. Same thing on Word. Your spacer button is the one with the arrows. You change it to 2, and then you change it to Times New Roman, size 12. Okay? So pause this video. Make sure that you've done that. Okay? Next step, once you have all that, you need to add a title. Hopefully it's a creative title. It needs to at least be a title. And the title is going to go between your heading and your paper. So you're going to click the space in between those two things. You're going to center it, and you're going to put your title. So let's see. Odysseus, a hero, despite challenges, maybe. That's kind of boring, but whatever you want to call it, so that you have a title in the center of your page. Okay, so again, this is a video. You can pause it. If you haven't done all of these things, pause the video. Make sure your paper has all of these things. I should also notice or note to you that the MLA heading should be at the top of your page. So if you still have outline stuff on your paper, just delete it all so at the very top of your page is your heading and then your paragraphs. Okay. So our next step is to make sure the essay is aligned to the left except for the title. All right, what that means is it's got to line up with this side. So on your paragraphs, you're going to highlight them all. And then make sure it's left align. Okay, right align is where they line off of this edge, middle is where it's centered, and left align is where it's lined up with the left. That's what we want. We want it lined up with the left, okay? There should be no space in between your paragraphs, no extra space. Okay, it's just going to be the next line. The way we tell it's a new paragraph is because you've hit tab. You should hit the tab button and it'll indent properly. So all of your paragraphs should be tabbed in, no weird space between them except for the normal double spacing. Okay. Then you need to make sure your works cited is at the end of your essay. This is going to be an important step. This I'm going to tell if people have watched this video properly, because if you haven't, you won't know how to do the works cited. So at the end of your essay, which this person did not do a concluding paragraph, so we'll just pretend that there's the stated thesis, blah, 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 blah. This is very important because blah, 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 blah. We'll just paste that. All right, so there's the end of my conclusion. So you're going to hit tab, enter, till you get to a new line. Okay. Then you're going to type work cited, capital W, capital C. It's just one work. All we have to do is cite the Odyssey version of the textbook. So it's just work cited. Enter down to a new line. So we always start works cited with the author. Usually you do last name, comma, first name, but Homer just has one name. So we're just going to put Homer, period. Then we have to put the title of the work, which is the Odyssey. Now, you italicize book titles and you italicize long poems. This is definitely a long poem. If it's something long, you italicize it. So we're going to put in italics, which you can do by going Control-I, or you can click the little I, the Odyssey. Capital T, capital O, okay, period, space. Next, we have to put the book where it came from. So this came from a textbook called The Language of Literature. So it's a book, so we still keep it in italics, The Language of Literature, period, space, okay. Then we have to put who translated it, right? Because Homer didn't write this in the English that we read. There were translators that went through and translated the whole thing from Greek into English for us. We need to give them credit. So make sure you take it out of italics, so it's just normal type, and then you put translated by Robert Fitzgerald, comma, space. So go ahead and pause this video if you need to type that up. Translated by Robert Fitzgerald, comma, space. Then we have to put the textbook where it came from, which you put here, but we have to put what company published it. So you're going to put McDougall, spelled like that, space, Littell, Littell, comma. Then we have to put the year. So this one was published in 2008, so 2008, comma, and then we put the page numbers. So to indicate page numbers, we put PP, space, and then the pages were 1104 to 1165, period. Okay, so you should have a period here, a period here, a period here, and then it'll be commas all the way till the end. So that's what your citation is going to look like, okay? Then what you want to do is hit enter. So this is in the middle of a page. Your works cited is always going to want to be at the top of the next page. So hit enter till it's at the top of your next page. Highlight it. This you're going to center. So find the center align button. Make sure that work cited is centered. The rest of it will still be over here. And then you have to do your hanging indent, which is sort of complicated, so come see me if you need help. But basically what you do is you highlight just your citation, you drag this over about ½ an inch, then you take the top part and you pull the top little square or rectangle back. So the rectangle will be up here, the little triangle will be down here, and it'll indent your second line. And that should be the only thing on that last page. Now, we're going to edit the paragraph a little bit now in my next video. So it might make your paper shorter or longer. So before you submit your paper to me on Turn It In on Thursday, you're going to want to go back down here and make sure, because this might move down or it might move back up to the last page if you delete things. You want to make sure before you submit it's at the top of a page and that works cited is in the middle. Okay? So your citation should be good, your formatting should be good. It should look like this in terms of the font and the spacing for the most part. We're going to go through and make sure, see, this person did not edit their paper properly, that you have everything in your body paragraphs is good to go. So I'm going to pause this video, and you're going to want to make sure your paper looks like this and then move on to the style editing video, which is second.